Beloved Bixby community, in light of the events that took place in Monterey Park over the weekend, I did want to share a video that I will be sharing on my weekly message for the second through fifth graders. I recognize that I'm not addressing TK through first grade with those news events or regarding those news events. That's intentional. I am so conscientious of breaking the innocence of our littles, and so I feel, although I feel somewhat conflicted by that, I do sense that it's the right thing to do, personally. So, having said that, if you and your tinies, that's TK through first, are indeed having conversations about the events in Monterey Park and the shooting, these are some ways perhaps that you might be able to do that. You might want to ask your little ones to draw you a picture of what they're feeling or what they're thinking. Perhaps you can have a conversation with them about what they might know or might have heard. Or asking them what questions they might have, and then engaging them in questions about ways in which they can show kindness and fairness. Thank you, and I am so sorry that this is something we have to face, given the condition of our society today. And so, having said that, I will leave with you this video that I will be presenting to my second through fifth graders. Hi, Bobby. How are you? Bobby, what's wrong? I'm sad and I'm mad. Well, you want to talk about it? What's going on? I heard about the news at Monterey Park. Oh, you did you? I'm sorry too. What are you feeling? So much anger and sadness. Yeah, I understand. Me too. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I know. You know, one thing that I do think of is that this is not the way things are supposed to be. And I think about how all people deserve to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity. Do you know what that means? Well, when we talk about treating people with fairness, respect, and dignity, it means that we value them. They are important to us, and we value them. They are valuable to us because they're part of the human community. And you know that our history shows that when people are hateful and they cause harm, it really affects a community. It impacts a community. What's impact mean? Well, impact means that it causes, so for example, when you perhaps step on a puddle of water, you know how it makes those rings and it splashes out? That's very much what I think about when I think of the word impact. It has consequences for others around us. Well, what are we going to do to make peace happen around the world? That's a big question, Bobby. I don't know. I know that we can do little things. Dr. Martin Luther King said that. He says we can do little things that will make big, big changes. So I wonder what those little things are we can make here at Bixby. I have an idea. You do? What are you thinking? Well, for sure, we can treat each other with kindness and respect. That's a great way to start. I think that's true. And I think we can also work for peace together. Don't you think? Well, and here's another thing. Sometimes when things like this happen, there are groups of people that we end up judging because one person in that group caused a lot of harm. And, in this instance, we don't know what caused this to take place, why this took place. We don't know much about the person who committed this horrific act, but we know that the reality is, and this is the sad part, is that people like that exist in our country. But I do want to let you know that America is strong because of just the variety of people that live here. And there's a beauty in that. Don't you think so? Yeah. And, so I'm grateful for you because you're different and you make Bixby amazing. Oh, thank you. Yes, I mean that. The thing that we have to also think about too is that that vengeance is different from justice. Do you know what I mean by that? Well, when we want vengeance, we really want to do things to get back at someone who might have hurt us. And so vengeance is not a healthy way to respond because that causes more harm. Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah. And so oftentimes we confuse justice for vengeance. And justice means, let's see. Well, I guess it means that people or somebody having a consequence that's deserved. You see what I mean? Yeah. Vengeance is acting in anger and trying to get back at somebody. And when we do that, it just makes the problem bigger. So, when we think about these things, we have to think about how together we can do things, we can make things right. Do you know? Yeah. And that understanding people and being respectful of them and dignifying them is not an easy thing to do, and it usually takes a long time. I know, that's what makes me sad. Yeah, I know, because we wish we could just kind of snap our fingers and make things right again, right? Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not the case. But I do appreciate you talking to me about this. And Bobby, that if you ever need to talk to someone about things like this, you can talk to me, you can talk to Miss Martin, you can talk to Miss Escalante, who's our school psychologist. We are all people who would be willing to talk to you. You can talk to your teacher as well. Thank you. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to stop me from your tree. Okay. All right, Bobby. Thank you. Bye.